Buongiorno. Today we're filming in Italy with two of the best sports cars in the world. We have the 992 GT3 in shark blue, and we have the GT4 RS in Arctic grey with the Weissach pack. This is the first time that Porsche have put the GT3 engine into the beautiful Cayman mid-engine setup, so theoretically should be more fun, should be faster than the GT3 with the same engine. The 992 GT3 went round the Nürburgring in an astonishing 6 minutes 55 seconds, and what helped it to do that? Well, it's got rear axle steering and it's got double wishbone front suspension. Whilst the GT4 RS can't match the time of the 992 GT3 round the Nürburgring, this car is an astonishing 24 seconds faster than a standard GT4. And where's most of that time made up? Well, this car is wearing Cup 2 tyres, and Andreas Pröninger from Porsche says that that helps this go round 8 seconds faster. And the car we're filming today is the Weissach package, and you can tell because it's got this beautiful front carbon bonnet. So we're starting in the GT3, a wonderful car from Porsche, completely different to every other generation, with this clever suspension now at the front and rear axle steering. It just handles like a pure track car, and a very modern one at that. Old 911s, you really had to know what you were doing. This one is just so planted, so easy to drive, gives you so much confidence through the corners. Now, I have reviewed a 911 GT3 on the channel before. We did a comparison between the 992 GT3, 991.2 GT3 and the 997 GT3, and I was comparing manuals, and I have to say that the manual gearbox, in my opinion, does not suit this engine, and it doesn't suit the 718 GT4 either. I think that the PDK gearbox in this car and the 718 works really well together with the engine, and it also has the added benefit of allowing you to focus on the driving and not having to change gears, because you've got the gear changes to hand on the steering wheel, and if you put it in PDK sport mode, it really does it all for you. Does that take away some of the enjoyment? Yes, but when you're in something so fun to drive, I mean, this car goes round corners like it's on rails. It really is insane and transformational for me compared to the manual version. So why are we driving this? Well, number one, Matteo, who owns the GT4 RS, also owns this, so it made perfect sense to bring this along, and they have the same engine, so why not? When you add on the Weissach pack to the GT4 RS, the price between the two actually is fairly similar. In the UK, around £150,000 will get you either of them. So which one would you choose? Well, this car is sublime. It's absolutely sublime. We're in the Passo della Cesa Pass in Italy. It's about 2 hours from Milan. So lots of lovely mountain roads to exploit. Perfect for this car. Wonderful brakes, quick gear change, great pickup. What an amazing, amazing car. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. Do I have any criticisms about this car? I think I only have 2 criticisms, and they're small ones. The first one is it's not very loud from inside the cabin. When this car pulls away and you're standing outside the cabin, you can hear it and it sounds fantastic. Inside the cabin, it's fairly quiet. And it's really annoying that cars are loud for other people and not for the driver. And I think that when cars are quiet inside, you tend to drive faster than you normally would. The second criticism is the brakes. They're good, but I prefer the ceramics. I know there's a big debate over steel or ceramics, but I prefer ceramics. They give you more confidence. They don't have any fade, and they don't have any brake dust. The owner of this car went for steel brakes because he does a lot of track days, and I asked him about it, and he said that if some gravel goes into the ceramic discs on track, it's very expensive to replace. So I guess if you're doing a lot of track days, then steels make more sense. But these are very small criticisms. I absolutely love the car. It's wonderful to drive. You can really chuck around a GT3 like no other car, and it's rear-wheel drive. Let's jump into the GT4. In the GT4 RS. Is it possible that this is more fun than a GT3? Whoa. Well, I have to say, it's certainly fast. Woo! Wow. This is not the first time I've got into this car today. I have been driving it already for about 2 hours. The first thing that you notice in this car is that induction noise. It is loud. It is loud. Now, you heard me complain that the noise in the GT3 can only be heard from the outside. Well, this one's actually a little bit too loud. Never thought I'd say that about a car. The pickup is ridiculous with the PDK gearbox. I'm going to say it again. The PDK gearbox really suits this car. And I'm talking about the GT4 in general. We've done a review before of the GT4 manual versus PDK, and the PDK gearbox is so much more fun and involving and suits the car. Now, I mean, this car is insane. It's insane. The way it changes gear, the way that it accelerates, the handling. I mean, it just feels like a road racer. Unbelievable. The only way I can turn down the noise is by driving slowly. So I'm going to drive slowly just for a little bit. So in the GT3, they've perfected the handling on that car. The engine sits out at the back, but you feel a fantastic amount of grip when you're going round a corner once you've got the car in the right position. And it really gives you a lot of confidence through the corners as well. This one, you're more aware of the fact that the engine is sitting behind you midships, and it's a little bit trickier. And you just know that if you make a mistake, you could lose the car. So that's more on the back of my mind than the GT3, but that could be because I'm used to driving a GT3. I've got the RS 4.0. But this still gives you a huge amount of confidence through the corners. It's got the Cup 2 tyres, which are really warm. Wow. I mean, I know that round the Nürburgring, this was slower than a GT3, but it doesn't feel slower. It's insane that this car handles like this, sounds like this for a road car. Woo! I mean, again, this gives you so much confidence. But we're talking margins when I say that this doesn't handle as well as the GT3. They both handle fantastically well, but the GT3 has the edge in terms of, I think, the confidence it gives you when you're driving it. I think what's so great about the GT4 RS is that it gives you enough confidence to exploit it. It's not a scary car to drive, and that's what's really nice. This must be incredible on a racetrack. Whoa, so lucky to be finally driving this car. It lives up to the hype. I mean, that PDK gearbox just allows you to go into a corner, brake hard, immediate pickup, and then just change up the gear when you need more power. It really does feel like a go-kart to drive. Is there a better car for mountain passes? I don't think so. Although there are rumors that they're bringing out a convertible version of this car, and it's going to be called the RS Spider. Imagine that. A convertible GT4 RS. Now there's a car I'd like to own. One of my favorite cars that I've owned is the 981 Spider. And I love having the roof down and hearing that flat six engine. So one of these with the roof down, that's just got to be a dream. I actually haven't seen a spec that I don't like on this car. I really like this grey with silver wheels, looks really good. But there's some insane colours out there. Yachting blue, Oslo blue, they all look great. They all look great. Hats off to Porsche for bringing out this car, because no one gets into a GT4 with the PDK gearbox and drives that and thinks, oh, this is not enough for the road. But the people at Porsche know, they just know their customer base. They know people love these hardcore versions. They know people love taking these to the track, and they're giving people what they want. And no wonder they're hard to get. Who wouldn't want one of these? Who wouldn't want one of these? Is it something that you'd want to drive on a regular basis? Maybe not. And maybe the GT3 would be better for everyday use. But me personally, I think these are cars you want to take out on special occasions for daily use. Why not just buy something that's more comfortable? The owner of this car has a Boxster GTS, and that's his daily driver, and he loves that. And he takes this and the GT3 to the track 6 to 8 times a year. What a car. What a car. Better take it back now, because the owner's going to be wondering where I am. We'll see you soon. The GT4 RS is a car that I wanted to love because it's got the GT3 engine in a mid-engined layout, and it looks absolutely insane, and it hasn't disappointed. I've been driving it along the mountain passes all day, and it is absolutely incredible. Let's talk about why. First of all, the sound that you get from this air intake just fills up the whole cabin, and it's even better when you put the windows down. So anyone driving one of these, put the windows down to really experience the full sound of that engine. The handling is absolutely sublime, but what you love more about this car than anything else is that it is so drivable, so exploitable, and so usable. You can drive hard all day long. The brakes are really good. There's steel brakes on this one, which are good. I personally would have gone for ceramics, but the brakes are good. The PDK gearbox really suits the car. It allows you to focus on the driving and not changing up and down gears. And I love the look of the car. It's so imposing. It's so aggressive. I haven't got anything bad to say about this car. However, let's move on to the GT3. So we brought along a GT3 for obvious reasons. It's got the same engine, it's a track-focused car. In isolation, the GT4 RS is incredible. It looks incredible, it sounds incredible. But when you put it next to a GT3, it's obvious that this is a completely different car, and dare I say it, a superior car. The steering on this is better, probably because of the double wishbone suspension. The steering is better also because of the rear axle steering. It's got bigger tyres at the back. It gives you more confidence through the corners, and it hunkers down through the corners. And if you've got the confidence to drive this, you can drive it faster, I think, than a GT4 RS. I would say that's probably more fun overall, but this feels like a more accomplished car. Thanks to our sponsor, Magnitude Finance. If you live in the UK and you're looking to buy a car for £25,000 or more, go onto the Magnitude Finance calculator and see your monthly repayments. Now, which one would I choose? GT3 or GT4 RS? I've made up my mind. Arrivederci.